In 2015, the East African community adopted a 3-year gradual process to phase out the importation of second-hand clothes and footwear to promote domestic industries. As a result, Rwanda increased taxes on used clothes from $0.2 per kilogram to $4 per kilogram, while second-hand shoes dealers will now pay $5 per kilogram of import, up from $0.4 per kilogram in the current fiscal year. We caught up with the vendors, and this is what they shared.
When you look at Made in Rwanda, it has not been yet known on the market. Now, even some of the things that we say are made in Rwanda are usually made in China. But I believe that this industry will eventually grow. People ask for second-hand products because it's what we have been selling for a long time. And they are used to it because the more new products emerge on the market, the more people get used to it, and they will get to a point where they are on demand. Now, I believe the future is bright, and the next 5 years my work will be stable. I believe also that the government works for our good, but one thing they should do is first look at the challenges that we are facing and try to improve them, like reducing the increased tax on second-hand clothes and also the raw materials for Made in Rwanda products, so that every Rwandan can feel part of the program.
In reaction to Rwanda raising tariffs on the used clothing and footwear from the US, the Trump administration says it will suspend duty-free privileges on eligible Rwandan clothing, a benefit of the African Growth and Opportunity Act, within 60 days.
I think what is need to be done right now is to continue discussion with our neighbors, and we have considered even AGOA agreement. We are yet to look into it again to see how we can discuss it within our different government institutions, government ministries to see how we can move forward with AGOA. AGOA is still on agenda, but we need to meet to discuss as a government institution to see how we can move forward. What is for sure, we never reverse our decision of banning Chagua as second-hand. So simply because this is a decision that is in line of supporting the growth of our industry.
Are Rwandan designers and the local textile factories ready to step in and fill the gap created? We caught up with a designer who shared with us the challenges holding back the industry.
So when you look at all the major fashion brands in the world, you look at how they were funded. Access to finance is really important. These businesses are able to scale, because fashion is something, it's in the moment. Secondly is look at the environment that all these different African designers are in. And we've had to majority of us have to import our fabrics. Even though our country might have cotton, it gets processed in like China, then comes back. So we, like when looking at the fashion industry on the whole, the continent as a whole, we need to have different parts of the chain catered for. We need to start processing cotton because we grow a lot of cotton on the continent. It's a shame that we have to export it and then import it as a finished product. So there's avenues there, textile designers. The fashion industry is so huge. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry, and it is so dynamic. If you're looking at different countries around the world that have very drastic, seasons, like 4 or 5 seasons, that means people are generally buying clothes for a specific season 4 times a year. That's why there's so much money in fashion. So these initiatives by our government, by other governments on the continent, by the African Development Bank, they have done the numbers, they've done the maths, and they have seen that one big way to take our different countries out of poverty is by creating more jobs within the fashion industry. With the rest of the collective RW, the collective of designers that I'm a part of, we're looking to grow the industry. So my products might not immediately service, you know, that fill the void of Chagua. However, we will, you know, work with new designers coming up that might have different elements of the fashion industry. We still have, our industry is so small. However, there's so many things that we do, programs that we are trying to set up, working with different experts from around the world to try and accelerate the growth of our industry.
This decision by the government also affects the citizens. We met with Inoro Janvier, who had come for shopping at the market. He shared with us his thoughts.
Second-hand clothes have been around for some time, while Made in Rwanda is just coming up, and it has not been in the market longer than 4 years. What is required of us is first, we should give the locally made products time and be patient. Secondly, people who produce them should first research and know what the market needs. Then it will be easier for them to get capital. As a customer, that is what I think is possible. I totally agree with the government's decision, but what they should do is support the different local manufacturing companies so that even myself, I can be able to access the product at a more affordable price.